Well, tonight we continue our Tropical Storm Maria team coverage. 10 on Your Side has been on the Outer Banks all day long, tracking the latest conditions.
And Matt Gregory has been in Nags Head all night long. And what are you experiencing there, Matt?
Anita and Tom, it is some nasty weather. We've seen worse before, hurricanes in the area, but this tropical storm, while not as powerful, has certainly brought some nasty weather here, especially in the form of these winds, which are swirling in all directions. But to give you a good idea of how it's really affecting the surf here in Nags Head, we're going to take you out to Jeanette's Pier, where if you look out into the distance, off there you can see the waves crashing underneath of the pier, and it's swirling winds, and the rip currents are doing quite a number on the underneath of the pier. At times, we've actually seen the waves going up over the piers. Now, interesting point, Jeanette's Pier obviously is a concrete pier, but there are several piers in the Outer Banks that are wood, and those are the ones we probably need to look out for tonight, and we'll check on tomorrow. But let's give you a look at what's happening south of here in the Cape Hatteras, Hatteras Island area. This is Marlow Beach we want to show you a picture of. What we've got is overwash coming over Route 12, as well as front-end loaders doing their best to stop the water from coming over by reinforcing those dunes. That's what we saw south of here, and we've heard reports that areas near Hatteras Village and Buxton have had overwash, as well as some roads wash out. So we'll be checking on those throughout the night. In the meantime, here in Nags Head, the big story, high surf, dangerous rip currents. No one's been in the water all day, except for one man. We did see kite surfing, but that's not advised. And we also have seen lots of waves pounding Jeanette's Pier. That's the story out here. Nasty weather. We've seen rain at times, but just like the tropical storm, as it continues to circulate, it rains heavily for a little bit of time, then it stops, followed by heavy wind, at times up about 40, 50 miles an hour. We're going to continue following this story and seeing what's happening here on the Outer Banks. Tonight into tomorrow, Lex Gray will have the first reports this morning coming up from Nags Head. She may even head south to Hatteras Island and give you a look at what's happening there. For now, at Jeanette's Pier in Nags Head, I'm Matt Gregory. 10 on Your Side.
And First Light may reveal a lot more on the Outer Banks. From the Outer Banks now to Hampton Roads, we continue our live team coverage.
10 on Your Side's Liz Kilmer has been monitoring conditions on the ocean front. She's live now off of 2nd Street. Liz, how are things there?
Well, Tom and Anita, we really haven't seen much rain at all here for the last several hours, but the winds are incredibly strong. We want to give you a look. You can see how the flags here are whipping around. A lot of sand is also blowing across the boardwalk where we are now. It's been mostly empty here all afternoon and practically deserted this evening. Pools and patios empty at the ocean front as strong winds chase people indoors.
But I can't talk. The wind is taking my breath.
It's getting pretty intense, actually.
So intense that Woodrow Hillen has barely had to pedal while skateboarding down Atlantic Ave.
I blew my hat off a couple times, and I had to stop and pick it up. My quads hurt from actually going up and down the boardwalk. It's a little more resistance than usual.
Closer to the beach, rough waves smacked the shore. The sand practically deserted but for seagulls. Dave and Carolyn Cunningham are tourists from England, not used to conditions like this.
Well, we did have a big hurricane in '87, which devastated Britain. Really bad.
So was that the last time you saw wind like this?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it probably was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
long time ago.
Wow.
Long time ago. This is pretty impressive.
Conditions that may worsen.
Hopefully the TV will stay on, the cable won't go out. Yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
Resort City resident Mark Gerganis made sure to purchase some last-minute groceries. He says he'll make sure his electronics are charged heading into Wednesday, though he's counting on things to remain fairly calm.
I don't think it's going to hit us hard, not this time.
Hoping.
And as citizens do what they can to prepare for the worst, we know that the city is doing the same. City officials say that they are closely monitoring stormwater levels and watching conditions carefully. I'm live now in Virginia Beach. Liz Kilmer, 10 on Your Side.
Thank you, Liz. Meantime, NBC